You said that your favorite WWE superstar is Mick Foley, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Really? So if Mick Foley was here right now, what would you tell him?
God, it's good seeing you again. I have to think about that.
You did meet him one time. Yeah.
Yep, I met him one time. I had that
Wow.
opportunity. I had the privilege of doing that.
What would you
Nice.
ask him, Foley?
What would I ask him? Honestly, we didn't talk much, but honestly, how did you raise a son with autism? And how the hell did you survive the Hell in a Cell match?
Really?
Who's talking about a Hell in a
The man, the legend, the Hall of Famer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is none other than WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley.
Yes, sir.
to be with you guys.
It's good to see
Thank
you,
you.
Mick. Thank you for
Good to
coming
see you,
on
Mick.
here.
It's good to see you again, buddy.
Thank you. How's the podcast going?
It's going great. Thank you. I don't know if you remember from the last time from the toy store.
That's right. That's right. We did have a conversation, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
And did you know I was going to be here tonight?
I did not actually.
Good
I
surprise?
debated.
Was it a good surprise?
It was an excellent surprise. Thank you.
I love hearing it. All right. Now, where are you guys? Where are all you guys based out of?
Indiana still. We haven't left Indiana. We're in like southern central.
Okay. Are you going to be watching the Roddy Piper biography tonight?
Ooh.
No, I'm recording them though, and then I'm going to watch them honestly, so I can fast forward through the commercials.
That's a good idea. Now, May 30th, where are you going to be?
May 30th. Not in school. Can I say that?
8 p.m. or 7 p.m. Central Time. My bio's on that night.
Whoa.
Nice,
Okay.
nice, nice. That's awesome, Mick.
Well, let me know if you guys have any questions here. I've got a few minutes
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
I looked on Wikipedia, and it said you have a son with autism.
Yeah, that's
Is that true?
autism acceptance bracelet. Can you see it?
Yes. Wow. You guys send me one of those, man.
I'll see if I have an extra one, and I will. Yes, my son Mickey. He's 20. He's on the spectrum.
Nice. How did you?
Nice.
I'm trying to worse. I sound like an imbecile. How did you raise him? Like make sure with the expectations and keeping him in line. But I'm trying to word it. I need help
Yeah.
here.
Well, you know what? First of all, my wife and I should have realized years earlier. At that time, we were really hesitant to have any label placed on my son. We knew he had special needs, but it didn't even we would know that something was a little bit different. And it's those differences that made him so great, but it's also those differences that made it so hard for him to learn the normal way. So, he would be daydreaming and looking out the window when he was supposed to be learning in school. He does learn, like he taught himself to play guitar. If you ever go on his, he's got drum and guitar tutorials where he sounds like a college professor when it's something that he's interested in learning about, but he learned it his own way. No one taught it to him. So he learns his own way, and he had a lot of difficulty learning in the traditional way. So it was very frustrating for him. He would come home, and then instead of having to do 1 hour of homework to show that he learned what had been taught, he'd have to do 5 hours of homework. So he hated school. He hated coming home. We ended up homeschooling him, where he did learn in a more proficient method. And now, with the pandemic, a lot of people know what it's like to homeschool, but it was, unusual. And we started doing it 7 years ago. So we just, we do our best. We wish that he'd been diagnosed earlier, but he's doing great. And so I've been wearing a bracelet like this for 7 years, not the same one. They break every couple of years. To let people know they're not alone out there, and it's not, it makes us different, but sometimes the things that made me different as a person were the things that made me successful.
Yes.
And, so we shouldn't run from them. We should embrace those differences.
That's right.
Yes,
That's right.
Definitely. Now, with your son, I was going to ask you, Well, when you went to the school, what did you have like resources put in place for him, or
Yeah, he
like a
did.
learning resource center or something like that?
Before we decided to homeschool, they were going out of their way to make allowances and to help him. But we just decided that a lot of it, as you know, I don't know how much of you've experienced, and I think by having this podcast, this is really probably a great experience for you. But kids who are different, they often, they get left alone at recess. And no one would sit with them on the bus, and he's almost 2 hours a day on a bus, an hour or whatever it is at recess, and now we're at lunch, and it's like, well, he's not missing out on socialization because nobody's socializing with him anyway. He just gets left out. And so the music is what it's funny because he'll talk with Dee Snider of Twisted Sister fame like he's just another guy, and he's much more comfortable talking to Dee Snider than he would be talking to somebody his own age about things that now he's 20, he's not a teenager anymore, but about things that young people talk about. So he's doing great. He just goes about it differently.
But I can relate to that. I don't talk a lot in the building because of in school because of social anxiety. But outside this guy, I'm like it's open door minded. Doors open.
Now, you've got a screen. You're talking to the hardcore legend, right?
Yeah.
Know this about me. Can I share a secret with you?
Go right ahead, my friend.
I defeated Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson twice to become champion. That's right.
Wow.
Mick, I don't know if you remember me. I'm Chili Willie from ECW, man. I did you ribbed me one time with Ron Simmons in APA.
I heard Ron tell you was just set the black man back 20 years. House down in Baltimore. Right?
Yes, that was in Baltimore. Yes, sir.
Ron, I couldn't tell what Ron was saying it, but I could see the expression. He was like this, and you're like building up against the wall.
Yeah, I was scared.
It's on your side. Came back, and it was like Ron and then he told you about a minute in, he was ribbing with you, and you'd done a great job.
Exactly. And then I met you one time again. I met you one more time, but you didn't recognize me. When I went to Iraq, before I was going to Iraq, you was in the USO on top of the escalator greeting all the soldiers. I walked by, I shook your hand. I couldn't say anything to you because
Yeah. So you were on your way to Iraq?
Yes.
Was this at BWI or at Walter Reed?
I don't know where exactly. I think we were getting ready to get on a plane or something.
Yeah, because I remember a few times going to BWI and seeing everybody. And then I made a lot of visits to the hospitals too. And luckily we're not in a situation where our men and women are getting injured at the rate they were. I should get back there. I used to go every month for a few years. And it was and you find out, it means you get more out of it than you put into it. And I was lucky that I had the time to be able to travel that way just about every month. Yeah. So I'm glad you saw me there.
Yeah, I'm glad. I thank you a lot for doing that. And I think we all thank you for coming on the podcast and meeting Sam and taking the time out of your busy schedule for that.
I gotta tell you real quickly. So I don't remember. Do you remember that interview you did with when you were Mankind and Jim Ross? Remember?
I remember it really well. Yeah.
I was able to find a transcript of it. I read it in my creative writing class.
Nice.
That was really good, actually.
Yeah, what's really interesting? I
love the fact that you did the genius, you did it, you gave legit answers, but you did it in character. I thought that was a genius move.
Because they wanted me to do Dustin Runnels, Gold Dust had just done a sit down, what they would call a shoot interview out of character. And it really worked for him. But I felt like, I just feel like I'm getting this character going. And I told Mr. McMahon, I really didn't want to give in, cave in and admit this was just a character. And he said, well, Mick, we really want people to know you a little better. And I said, how about you know, I give you 100% real answers, but I do them in characters. You think you can do that? I know I can. So I joked, I think on the special I did a couple of years ago, for all the things I lacked, you know, as far as, you know, the physical attributes, one thing I wasn't lacking was that confidence that if you gave me a chance that I could make people feel something. But even with that being said, I didn't know that interview was going to be such a big deal. So Mr. McMahon liked it so much that they divided it into like 5 different segments. You know, it was on every week for 5 minutes. And I rode with Stone Cold one night, and he goes, "Hey kid, what? The first one had just aired." He goes, "Kid, did they turn you babyface?" I said, "No, no, they just want people to understand the character a little better."
I cheered for you, though.
Yeah, he goes, "You'll be a babyface in 3 weeks." And sure enough, without any kind of turn, I didn't save anybody. I didn't, you know, change the way I did promos. People just started getting with that character. It was really very much a grassroots turn. I don't know if I've heard of one coming about that same way. I mean, obviously, sorry about the ear picking. Fans gravitate towards certain people and they start turning them, but there's always like a defining moment of that turn. And I never had one.
This is going to sound like an odd question. Last time I didn't notice. Can I see the ear you lost?
Well, I'm really sensitive about that. Are you ready? Left ear. I'll show you the good one first. Right here.
Yeah.
Who noticed it? I'll be honest with you.
It just looks like a little ear, right? Down until the other.
Kind of. Yeah, I think Mom wants to say hi.
Yeah. Hi, Mr. Foley. I'm Mom. I'm Gina. Yeah, we met you in Indianapolis at the, what was it called, Sam?
The toy pit, I think.
The toy pit. And it was really nice. Sam, you know, Sam has this bucket list and he can check it off today.
What else is on?
Yeah.
Thank you, Tilly Williams.
You're welcome.
You're more than welcome, man.
Thank you.
What's
Yes.
on the bucket list?
To meet you.
Come on, there's got to be something else.
Yes, but she won't take me.
He wants to go skydiving, but I don't really want him to. No, in all seriousness, he has, you know, you have been his favorite for as long. He started watching wrestling when he was 6, and he's never wavered. He has followed you. He has watched you, and you know, Sam was diagnosed with autism when he was 4. Has done some, you know, obviously really great things. His podcast is over 5,000 downloads now.
Wow.
And he's bringing a lot of attention to autism and just kind of destigmatizing, you know, autism. So in case he forgets, I want to ask you, he's obviously the voice of the podcast. He's the personality. I do all of it's my second job. I'm a teacher. So I teach 8th grade, but my second job is managing him and make sure, you know, like doing all the behind the scenes stuff. So we would be honored if at some point you could be a guest on his podcast.
As a father with someone on the spectrum.
Yeah, I can probably do that. Sure.
Thank you.
Good questions. We can make that happen. Hey, I just want to give a shout out to Cody Smith, who helped arrange this appearance. Cody is Jake Roberts' daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, know that? Yes. So she helps me with a lot of things, and she was the one, because I have some good attributes, but being organized is not one of them.
I'm an organized person.
Sam counts on me because I'm pretty organized, but I will just get with, as far as getting you booked, I can talk to these gentlemen about your booking contact information, if that's okay.
Sure.
And kind of set that up. So is that okay if we do it that way?
Yeah, of course.
That sounds good. Just go through Cody. She'll set it up, and then be prepared. It's a 50-50 chance that I'll forget about it the first time. Myself with
Well,
yeah.
I'll step out of here, but I just wanted, as his mother, he has talked about this, and I will tell you, he does a lot of interviews for other podcasts, and he's getting to where, you know, his message is really spreading worldwide, and it almost interview, he is asked, "Who is your ultimate guest? Who would you like?" And I bet at least
I'd say
100
Mick
times.
Foley, Jim Ross because of Bell's palsy,
Uh-huh.
and Zach Gowen because of his one leg.
But
Yeah.
But you mainly.
yeah, the last times it has been Mick Foley. So
Thank you. I think that especially the latter day Mankind character, I think he really connected with anyone who didn't feel like they fit in. And they saw someone who was a little bit of an outcast as well. And I had no idea, at the time that character was gaining that kind of traction, but I'm really glad it did. I'll tell you what. So let me go now. You guys have a great podcast, and we'll set up a time when I'll come on as your special guest. Okay.
All right.
Sound
Thank
good?
you, Mick.
Thank
Sounds
you,
good.
Mick Foley. Thank
Have
you.
a nice day and watch the Piper biography tonight
Yes, sir.
on DVR. Okay.
It was
All
nice
right.
meeting you, Mick.
When it's all done, I'm gonna watch them all.
Sorry for the rib that broke your heart in Baltimore.
That's okay. Yeah, I'll never forget it in my life. Never.
He went on it. It was a rib about 90 seconds into it.
Yeah.
You go years before you find out that you're being ripped. So, all right. Thanks, man. Thanks for the support about it.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
Mick.
It was nice meeting you, Mick.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Mick.
Bye-bye.